Okay, so it's 4:30, between 4:30 and 5. I don't have a clock. Well, I have this one, but I already have it set up here. So, anyways, last time I looked, it was like right after 4:30, and Tuesday morning, so the day after, and the inauguration stuff was on all day. So I saw a couple things. Um, the Oh yeah, because he spent the day doing executive orders. Supposedly censorship is supposed to be fixed now, so those of us being censored should be able to tell that soon, hopefully. And I don't know how fast all this stuff is gonna start going. It made me think though, because they've got military in a couple of cities to start taking away the people. Are just like, I wonder if that's what starts the problem in the cities, like a civil war, if that's what they're going to try and do. Because you got to remember, these people are like paid mercenaries. They're like the most criminal people. Because think about the guy who's paying them, SOROS, that he was involved with the Yahtzees all the way back. Like he's always been with that crowd, like the evildoers of the world. But hold on, let me finish this though. So we just got up and I let them out and stuff, and oh my gosh, when you only have little like pathways and they follow you down the pathway, it's very irritating. It's like, oh my god, I just want to walk freely. You guys. Hold on a second, let me finish this real quick. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One of them being, oh, this package. This is such fucking shenanigans. I swear to God, our system is based on retardation or something. It is so fucking, it's anti-people. It's anti-helping us. And, so I had ordered, something off ThredUp. I don't know. It was before Christmas, I think. And I was waiting and waiting, but the storms and everything. So finally my package got there. And it was like nothing fit in the package. So I did a return. And when I did the return, it gave me a credit. And so then I saw a couple things. I was like, oh, I'll get these. And then I left it open, because you can leave it open for like 10 days or something. And you can put stuff in it and you get free shipping. And so I thought, well, I'll just leave it open. And then payday, I had my eye on this dress I wanted to get. And so I thought, I'll just leave it open because it'll stay open until the day after payday. And then I'll just slip that dress in there and then they'll ship it out and it will be good. Well, what was that? The day before payday, 2 days before payday, I got evicted. So everything kind of went awry. And so my plan had a problem. And so right away, I was trying to change my address on everything. And I was changing my address on shipments that I had coming. And they were still sending them to the old one. And so this package, I was trying to contact them. I tried changing it with USPS. I tried changing UPS, but they wouldn't change this one package. I've been calling and asking them. The place that I ordered from, asking them, because they say they are the ones that have to do it. It's been the biggest fucking runaround bullshit. I can't even believe it. And so and you just go in circles and go in circles. And so it just blows my mind, because I've been tracking it, and it says it's getting delivered tomorrow to my old house. And I'm just like, this is so mental. Like, I don't even live there, and they're just going to drop off this package. The stuff in there is way more than $100. And it's like, I just can't even believe this shit. And so now it's at Bellingham UPS. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try calling Bellingham UPS and see if I can get them to stop the package and reroute it over to here. Like, this is so absurd. And then I looked up the UPS stores, and now there's like 4 of them. I'm pretty sure this one, though, is the one that they go to get the packages. But I don't know, they maybe go to them all, but where the package interchange is, like, because it was in Tacoma, and then they brought it up, and now it's in Bellingham, waiting to get delivered. And so I'm going to try and call that today and see if I can catch it that way. Otherwise, I got to see if my neighbor will catch it and send it to me. It's like, oh my God, I can't even believe this shit. But that's just like one of the things that is just like a pain in the ass. And part of it is like, well, just sit back and let it come to me. But it's like, I don't know. I think I would just sit out there in the rain and the weather and just sit there and rot until somebody went and took the stuff out. You know, the place that I bought the stuff from, they obviously don't give a fuck. UPS obviously doesn't give a fuck. All they want to do is deliver a package. They don't give a shit where to. It's like absurd. So that, okay, and then there was, Crystal was saying, oh, there's got to be a bedroom. Just go in and take a bedroom. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little background on this place. Okay, so I've told stories before about my life and everything. So this was my mom and my stepdad moved up here with my sister, who was much younger when they moved up here. And so she was still being homeschooled. My mom was religious. She was already into the homeschooling and wanting to live out further, not like right in the city. And way back when I was like 20, no, how old was I? I think I was 23, that we got land in Pagosa Springs, and it was before Pagosa was built up. Archie's in her bed with her. So we had bought property. I had some and she had some. And we wanted to build these places, and then the place was going to build up around us. We're going to have these really cool places and this great place and stuff. And then, I don't know what all happened, but everybody had to sell their property, I think, and go. So anyways, she stayed there for a longer time. She stayed there for a pretty long time. I wasn't there that long. And I don't remember what happened. I had a husband. My first husband was like a serious nightmare. He wouldn't work. Like we would have no money. He didn't care. If there was some milk, he would, like, I got WIC and I would get milk and stuff. Instead of it being for the kids, he would just drink it all. He didn't give a shit. They need some. It was crazy. I never met anybody like him. And, but, further down the line, it ends up, he's mentally ill, very. So, anyways, come on, please. Don't start with this again. And so, anyways, so it was always my mom's dream to get this place out at this place like that. And so, anyways, they moved up here. And first they lived in Kansas for a long while. She was around her dad, and they didn't get along at all. And so then she moved over here, and because her and her husband and her dad were always having issues or whatever. So then she moved over here and got a place. And she got all involved with her church and stuff. And then she wanted to get a place. I don't know how I think it was one of her friends lived out at this lake. And it seemed like it was so far out of town, but it's really like 15 miles. But, cause I was 30 miles from down where I was living. So her friend was living out here. So they came out here and they got land out here. So there was all these plots of land. And the primary, the ones right on the lake were like double the price. So I think it was like $25,000 or something for a couple acres in the secondary lot. In the primary ones, I think they were like $75,000 or something. Oh my gosh, please stop it. And so they got this secondary lot. He was working at Home Depot. He had been a flooring person for like 25 or 30 years. So he was this is back when Home Depot had experts, and they hired experts to be in the different things. So he was flooring, and so he worked there so he could get all these supplies to build their house. So they were going to build their house with no debt, nothing. They were just going to build their house. And So they came out here and started it. I think even when they very first started, it was like they were camping and stuff. And then they got their building erected, and it was a big barn. So they're starting with the big, one of those, not the kind of barn I'm talking about. They're talking those ones that everybody puts at their house, those big metal kind of barn things. But it had to do with building codes and stuff, and what you could push and get away with or whatever. So you could start out with that and turn it into an apartment, into a house and stuff like that. And it got off of some of the other codes that they tried to make you adhere to. So they were always trying to figure out the cheapest way, to be able to do it, because they were trying to do it to not have any debt. And so they put up the building and everything, and they both wanted two different things in life, and it wasn't in alignment. And at some point it split, and he went in the direction of what he wanted, which was more of a partnership with a person. And she was much more independent. Her relationship built more with animals. He became like affairs. And so once he got caught on that, then he decided to go with the girl. He left my mom for the girl. But how she was left was like she hadn't worked in, I don't know, 20, 30 years or something. She'd only had a couple of little jobs throughout her life. It wasn't like she was a career person or anything. She never understood like that thing. She always thought it was weird that I was always going out and wanting to work and stuff. And so she was more of a housewife person. And so the barn thing, the building was erected, but it was not ready for, it was not, it had a lot of issues. And so the top part is like the little apartment part. The bottom part was like the garage part, the workshop part. And they did have one little room, but that room that was my sister's bedroom, but then it ends up, now it's more of my mom's closet or something. It's like where she has her stuff. And it's small, and it's right next to the cat room. It's like, I like this better, personally, because that is way older, and it's like a garage under the apartment. And so it really is like a one bedroom. She has like one bedroom up there, and then this little room down here. But and I tried to stay in there one time when I came to visit, and I'm pretty sure I was already recording at that point, and that was a night, that was up all fucking night. Oh my God, it was the worst. It was so horrible. And so this is a dream come true out here, man. I so prefer it. So anyways, she had her little apartment, and then but it wasn't finished. Nothing was done. Everything was, I mean, it was just getting started. And he left her, and she had no job, no money, no way to finish. Luckily, there was a couple programs, like there was a SNAP program that came out and did insulation. Then us kids, a bunch of us chipped in and paid her payment for her. I don't remember how long we did that, but we all just pitched in to pay her payment. She got a job somewhere. She went through some different programs to try and get her ready to start going and working and stuff. And then, because there was like programs for women who this happened to. And then, so then she started going back to work. And this was her dream. Like my siblings, especially my brothers, were trying to get her to leave. My one brother was trying to get her to come and move in with him and stuff. And she wanted her independent. She wanted to match her dreams. She wanted to stay here, do what she wanted, live how she wanted. She didn't want to be in anybody else or any of that stuff. And so she stuck with it, and she just kept doing little by little by little by little. And she always had a plan, though, because she knew her dad was leaving him all his money and stuff, and he was well off. And so she always figured, well, I'll get that money and I'll be able to finish. And time kept going and going because he lived to be almost 100. I think he was like 99.4 or something when he died. And so anyways, but when she got the money, that's when she built this on. And so the back building is her original building, and then all it is like a facade, kind of like an add-on to the front, so it gives us this appearance of like this other house. And it's like her other house with another house in front of it, because her living room is the same size as my house was. And so it's like this giant living room that was built. So she had this space that was like separate from the house, like if people came over or whatever, she had this separate thing. And then she got to get her kitchen all redone and stuff. And so she got to get some stuff done and built this big garage. So this big 3-car garage is underneath the room. And so this is all new, and inside is crowded too. Like, she has a lot of stuff. She's like definitely those, you know, when you go to this little old lady's house, there's about 1,000 decorations on everything. That is this one. And so, I don't know, out here in the garage, I'm telling you, it's the temperature is not that bad. Even yesterday, it was in the teens, and it was still not that bad. And when I get cold, we just go and sit in the tent, and the dog just go sit with me in the tent too. Sometimes Archie, he'll go sit right in front of the heater. So I think like I've got little rugs and blankets all over the floor for him, but I don't know, he might get cold and go sit in front of the heater or something. But it's really, I'm telling you, it's not that bad. Do I have tea left? No. And so anyways, it really isn't. It's not like, you know, that there's some bedrooms in there and she's keeping him hidden from me. No, she's pushed through to get her dream through all the different hardships. She didn't let it go. She just pushed and pushed and pushed until she got her dream and got what she wanted. And so now she has the place how she wants it. And her relationship developed more in with the animals when she very first started getting them. Because when we were little kids, she was not into pets and stuff. And then she started being into cats. Like, she was just enamored with their beauty and stuff. She just was like, oh my gosh, she would just fall for these beautiful cats. And she started developing these relationships with these cats and got really into them. And then, and that started interfering, because he didn't want that. He wanted, you know, bed fun, you know, partner or something. And so they just went in two different ways. It's just, that's what happens when we follow what we want. Our vibration doesn't, we're only in alignment with certain people through certain events, because they bring up this stuff, like, you know, all the things she had to heal from that situation, all the things that she had to find in herself of what she could do, and to stay with their independence and stay with their dreams and stuff. So anyways, I don't want people to think like, well, she lives out here with all these $1 million houses out here in this lake and she's making her sleep in the garage. That's not how it is. You know, and I'm probably, if I had a big enough feel, look, I'm freezing, please. But it's upstairs. Like, you got to go up all these stairs, and Stella can't do that with her hip dysplasia. And so I'd rather stay by her. And this is ground level. It's perfect. And so to me, I've got like the perfect situation. I feel like I've got my own little independent space, and it's more privacy, because if I was in the house, I'd be sleeping in that new room, but it's got French doors. I wouldn't have any privacy. It's got huge windows. So once it's light, and it's so bright in there, and out here, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in hibernation in the cave. I'm waiting for the next thing to come. I'm waiting for where we're going, what's up, and seeing what's next. And I know something's coming. I don't know what, you know, but it definitely, there's a wave of change. There's doors that will be opening for, no, because I'm not the only one. I mean, there's a lot. That was confirmation. There's a lot of people who are in this transition period who are waiting for the doors to open, and the doors are going to open. It's like they've been trying to hold him closed or something, as they want to defeat us. They want us to become despondent, to fade, to become sick and dependent and stuff. Oh yeah, because that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Was I shared the video yesterday on, I don't remember, it was one of Crystal's comments. I was watching the video and I was like, oh, I'll share this, because I thought she might want to see it, but there might be more people, and so if you can't find it, I'll share it again. But so this is a video my mom sent me yesterday, and it's off of X, and it's a doctor, and I won't say his name because I probably get a thing, but I think it's spelled like M-A-L-I-K, and he must be pretty well known out there in the alternative medicine situation. And he said he's the biggest one on, what was that called? Man, I was just thinking of it this morning. Not Reddit, it's something else. I can't think of what it's called. But anyways, he has a Substack, that's what I think it's called. He's got the biggest medical account or something on there. And so he is talking about alternative, and he, so he's talking about the horse paste and how effective, and the dosage that you need, and what he has found, and how all these different people have been cured and stuff. Like one person who had figured it out, and some of the people who began figuring it out is because they knew somebody who was like the doctors. He said it's so horrible. He said the same thing as I've said, is like there's doctors that he can't even believe that they went with the corporations. And so it was very much there was a medical crossroads that occurred, and it was a choice between morals and greed, and a lot of them chose greed, and for different reasons. Like, it's not like all one reason. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why they chose the direction they went. It's all their lessons. It's their stuff. So it's their stuff that's going to play out. Some of them are going to be going to jail, though. Like, it's bad. It's not going to be good. Some of them probably going to find themselves at the end of themselves. So, yeah, it's not going to be good. And, but he made reference to that, too. About that he just is like, fuck, I can't even believe that these doctors who have went in that direction. And he said we're going to bring ethics and stuff back to medical, which, yeah, there's no way around it. It was so unethical and immoral and built off of greed. And so it's going to flip to the other side. And so everything will be the opposite. And so he said this one guy, so some of these people, like the doctors, sent him home. And one thing he also said is the amount. Once you're sick, the amount that you're worth to the PHARM is the huge money, well over 100,000. Yeah, so that's why they want you to be sick. And these things definitely caused a super cancer. That's what's referred to. It's very fast moving, and most people don't know they have it till 4. And so once they're in the 4 region, then the doctors are like, well, we don't know what to do. We tried everything. And he tells the bad things about the poisons that they use that most people are dependent on. And so, Max, will you just lay down, you scrounge? Is so they just are sending people home with nothing. They're just saying, well, there's nothing we can do for you. So, you know, you got weeks to get your shit together. And so all these people are being sent home just devastated, not knowing what to do. And so some of them, like this guy, he had a friend or something that was like a vet or something. And he said, you know, try this. And so that started showing positive things, and that information started moving around. And this one, I don't remember particularly where he got his, but so if he was already seeing information about it, whatever, but he got the same situation that happened when they just said, well, it's in the pancreas. Like, Stage 4, like, well, you're done for. Just go home. See ya. It was nice knowing you. And so he goes home all devastated, doesn't know what to do. So he gets the horse paste. And then he goes in on 200 mgs every day, which the regular dose is 15. And so he was doing 200. And I don't remember. It was real quick. It was only a few months and his was completely gone. Could have been a few weeks, but it was gone. And so that is what keeps happening and happening. And there's some that are more resistant, which, Vortex, by the way, he talks about using it externally on. It's good for all sorts of skin ones too. Even skin conditions, it's clearing up, like acne. He said even cystic acne, psoriasis, eczema, all these different things, and all these different, basal, all the cell stuff. So you can use it on your skin, and it makes this stuff go away. And so I'm going to put some of that. I did it before, but hearing him say that, I'm going to start doing that every day. Maybe I'll go DSMO stuff and then go back and forth or something. And she's got such a breakout right now. And he was talking about some of that stuff. And he also was talking about the cannabinoids and the CBD and that all this stuff. So he had a bunch of information, and that's the direction we're going to be going. It's going to be natural stuff. And he said that the price and stuff, and then there's another one that was for goats. Then they created a human one, and they found out by accident when they were doing some tests in the lab that it worked. It cured it. So they had put these certain CA cells in all these mice. And then so they're in the lab doing all their testing and everything. And then they all had parasites. So then they were like, well, we'll just give them some of this stuff and clear out those so we can continue our tests, because we need them to, we're watching this, how this CA grows and what, whatever these weirdos do. And so they gave them that, and then the next day it was like nobody had the CA anymore, none of the mice, and it messed up their tests, but they published the information, so that is how it was accessible to other people who were starting to see, because they did say that happened instead of just pretending like it didn't. So that information is out there. And so some of the CAs is I'll say it kind of slow, because that these certain words get you tagged for misinformation. It's fur, and then Ben, Ben, and then Zol. He's Zol. So put that all together, and you'll find it. But it's all, it's all these parasites. It's everything is about getting rid of those. And so I'm gonna keep doing that, of course, on Stella. But and she does do the CBD, which is supposed to help with these growths and stuff. And then I think he said something else about that. But anyways, it's a good video. And so when you're trying to find out information, I guess, and he's out there talking about this for a while. I didn't know who he was, but anyways, now I do. And so so that, which I have been saying that for a long while. And so anyways, there's information to back that up, a video. And so then let's see, because with Donald, so he was signing all of those EOs yesterday. He's just going to town signing them. They're in there interviewing him. It was such a show. Guys in there like, yeah, he can talk and write at the same time. Joe couldn't do everything. Is this Joe can't do this? Oh, can you believe they were talking about Joe and Kamala right there in front of him, like all this stuff, because it's like all this news stuff. And so on the executive order thing, he said he had signed what was it? There was something. Oh, the J6 people, let them go. So I think that's already signed. So hopefully they're already letting those people go, because that was prisoners of war. That was a corporation keeping them prisoners of war. It's like, I mean, our government is like so evil. Oh, I saw somebody say the Pentagon has now released information that says that aliens live amongst us, like the Syrians, Palladians, and stuff. They're living with us too. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, China is it's a territory of some type of these beings. I think that they're different, some different ones, and that's an ancient one too. Like that one has been there for a long time. Those people, and but and yeah, so there can be so people okay. So let's just say, for instance, if I'm right, and that is this group of people from this other planet system, some other reality, vibration, realm, whatever, and they came into Earth realm, and then they set up existence there, and they started, living there and evolving there. So there can be people in their group through like ESP connections, so a connection to their other, like a pathway link to their more sophisticated branch of beings, and through communication it helps them with their development. And so that is why there can be some groups that seem to be so much further developed than other groups, because definitely that one, it seems like they're already the Jetsons and we're still the Flintstones. And they've been able to do so much of this stuff through propaganda and manipulation and stuff. And there's so much propaganda over here trying to convince us that we're the best, we're doing the best and stuff. And we're so corporate owned. And it's like, yeah, the corporation has been in charge of us, and they make money off of us being sick and stuff. And and that's why, like, to me, I'm a big, fuck you with the fucking your system and shit. I'll live in a goddamn garage. I'll look for goddamn homestead, and things are gonna start going in a different direction now that he's in there. But I don't know how it's gonna. Because, like, I thought Joe would have to crash the economy. So I don't know if it's going to be going and it's going to be like, well, we got money problems here, money problems there, misspending here. Like, if it's just going to be showing now all of this misspending that was done, and the corruption and the laundry, if that's what they're going to start doing somehow. There was one part where somebody brought up BRICS to him, and he's like, what, BRICS? Well, we'll see about that. There's, I think, 7 countries involved, which it's way more. In 7 countries, I think, involved in that, and they want us to something. I don't remember if it was pay or something. He's always like, well, America's getting ripped off. He's always like, America's getting ripped off. And so he's going to change all that. And we are going to become very developed, and we're going to sell energy. We're going to sell manufacturing. We're going to start taxing things and stuff. We're not going to buy other people's stuff. So there's going to be these big changes. But we're going to develop into a more sophisticated country than, but it's going to not, it's going to be also, it's going to be different than how it is. It's going to be different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just going to be different than how it's been. And I think a lot of manufacturing is going to be AI. I think communities are going to be built on a very different kind of structure. Things are going to be just different. And people are going to be, just on one thing too, is like where people think like they need more. Well, as soon as you feel like you need more than you need right now, that is when you stop trusting the universe. You think like, well, they're not going to give me some next week, so I better hurry and get more this week. And so it's always like in everything, I think that we're here is to try and learn to trust the universe, not to try and, like you've got this whole group that is trying to figure out how to control the universe. I think it's learning how to trust and get in the flow of the universe. So the learning how to trust is a big thing. and for things to come to you. And so once you start going into that part of like, I need this and I need that, and you need more of this and more of that, then that's when you start being like, I don't know, it's a trust issue that you got to look at, like, why am I feeling like I've got to gather all this? Why do I feel like suddenly the universe is going to drop the ball? And so, because then it becomes your focus and how to get it and stuff, instead of focusing on living and experiencing and trusting that the universe is going to bring you what you need. And sometimes when it's not giving you something that you want, it's because you don't need it. And sometimes, you know, if it's making you skip a meal, it's because it knows you need to skip a meal. It's not going to feed and indulge it's not going to feed into your indulgence. It's not going to feed into your consumption. So when there's like things where, because I've seen people who go homeless and they're like freaking out because they're not getting 3 meals a day. It's like, we honestly don't even need to eat, but I think every other day or something. We don't need to eat so much as like they've trained us, programmed us to believe. But that programming creates dependency, because you see what happens with all these people going homeless. They run to the government. Please feed me. Please feed me. What am I going to do? I'm going to starve out here. And the housing crisis, that's going to become more and more. Like, they've got 116 million empty houses and 70 million homeless people, and you know, you can't figure it out. You can't make it work because you're so fucking greedy, and you let the houses sit and rot because you're just fucking that like that. They don't give a shit. And in these other places, there isn't homeless people because they give them homes. And here, they make us fight and struggle as they created this dog-eat-dog world. They created, yeah, it is. It's like that pit bull fighting thing, or rooster fighting thing or something. They created that on one level, you know, that we're all fighting each other, and they sit there watching, just as, you know, these people go and watch the pit bull fights or the rooster fights or whatever. That's how weird these people are too. And that's what they get off on, creating this battle zone for us. Yeah, they used to watch like the gladiators get eaten by lions and shit. Now they just like to watch us all fuck each other over, and what we'll do for money and stuff, and our desperation. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. Like, sorry. It's so dark. It's so, so anyways, there's a sign over there that's broken, and so it's caught my eye. Kansas 65 interstate sign, but that last S is broken off. So it's like cancer. That's what I've been talking about. So, anyways, so, okay, let's go back to the executive order thing. So, letting people out, supposedly stopping censorship. He was just signing them away. And so I was like, man, he's going to come out hot. It's going to come out hot and strong. They've already been setting up for this mass deportation thing. And I was like, that could be what starts the battle. Because the people who are going to be trying to take away are the ones that are hired by SOROS, mercenaries that are here to instigate problems and cause us issues and kill us off and stuff. So those people are the ones that are trying to fight it. And don't forget, the confusion comes from when the church, of course, because the church is right there with them, goes over to Venezuela and all these other countries and starts paying them to come over here because, I don't know, we need workers. I don't know what their fucking ploy was, but they go to places where people are unhappy and starving and start paying them to come over here. So they've got all these innocent people over here who are, you know, just looking for a better life, just like all of us. We all just want a better life. That's why we all got to come together with people that we don't understand, people we don't speak the same language, people who are not the same color, people we have different cultures, different backgrounds, different understandings, different programming. We all have to break those programs down, break up down all the barriers around us, and come together as humans, as beings of Earth, and to move forward, and to be like, you know, we're all looking for the same thing. We all want peace. We all want peace of mind. We want peace in our hearts. We want love. We want compassion. We want to independently be able to live without someone always interjecting the rules, overstepping our boundaries, taking things away from us, overcharging us for things. So we all want that. And so the BRICS is it's the way, it's the new wave of money. So that is the gold standard. And so we know it's coming here. It's going to be global. And so whatever the game is to, get there, I was thinking, when I heard him say that and he acted like he didn't know what the hell it was all about, when it was months ago, he was saying, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign on to that. And his buddies are on it. Like he knows exactly. But I think it is to bring up these words to get him out, because I do think this 1-7 is the frequency of knowledge. And that is why they are using it as the thing, because it's like an opening of knowledge or something. And so so like he says this word, and then people are like, all these people tuning in like, what's he doing now? Which some people just wait for them clips off CNN, which you need to go in and watch yourself. Watch, because they take everything out of context and they change the whole narrative by their little sound bites. So you got to watch him and watch what he says, watch the whole thing. And otherwise don't listen to any of it, because it's all fucking bullshit. So so when he says these certain words, these certain terms or certain things, it's planting a seed. And so then the seed is planted and then it starts to sprout. And I kind of felt like, is it to plant the seed in our collective, American collective of change? And because they can't force us, see, to try and force us into doing something is a lot easier. When we want it, it goes a lot smoother. And so what would be the easiest way is keep dropping the hints, getting us all to be like, well, what's this he's talking about? And then you start looking it up, which is a big stretch for some people. Some people aren't even to that part yet of looking things up. And because that is a part of the awakening, when you start being like, wait a minute, I'm going to look this up myself. And so so to plant that seed and to get us all to think that way and to think about it, and then we start understanding, oh, what it is. Oh, they don't have to pay the bills in. They don't, like, all this gold, like, then we want it. And then that changes, that changes, it's real smooth when we want something. When he's trying to force it and make the banks collapse and stuff like that. So I don't know how it's all going to play out. I just know that it's going to play out, because they've said, like, the Supreme Court on that day, 1-7, that they ruled that it was illegal to have loans, like that they're written illegally, which, that's already, like, anybody who's been following along with this money thing knows that that is the thing that we learned in 2020. That's why it was like, that's some bullshit. Why am I going to keep paying something that I know is bullshit? It's illegal. And then they still went to the extra thing of like, you're not going to pay your illegal contract, then we're going to kick you out and take it away. Well, you're just fucking yourself then. So you do you. You go ahead with your big bad self, because I know good things are coming. And so and I still have a very weary feeling about this other place of that, things are about to crash. And so if they start like that with the, we're going to go in, we're going to deport all these people, take them away. And it starts this battle in the cities. That could be, because there has been so many people who are saying, like, there's going to be these battles in the city. I just keep seeing these videos of people like, get out of the cities, get out of the cities. I had a dream. There's going to be like a war and stuff. So I was like, that could be where it starts, is like the people who they're trying to take away are the ones that are here to fight us. And so that's where it could start. That's where it could get really dangerous. I don't know. And it could be just some cities. So we should see more this week of what's going to go down with that. If it's going to be smooth sailing, or if it's going to be like battle zone central. But whatever, you got to, there's going to be shit going down all over the place. And the key is awareness. The key is paying attention. And that is where you got to just see, oh, there's so many people just not paying attention. They're just on autopilot, going through their day, and then all of a sudden they hit into something, and then they see. With the rest of us, we've got to be aware, like paying attention, like, fuck, that's dangerous. Well, that's not good. Well, I wouldn't do that. And so it's just like being on guard for yourself, just like a deer out in a field, and hears gunshots, and it's like, and then sees something over there, and we got to be the same way. Get into your natural senses of your environment, of what's safe and what's not safe, and people are cut off from that. And so that is a part of what will affect them and their awakening and stuff like that. So, but we can't stop all the stuff that's gonna, like, there's gonna be shit going down all over the place, I think, all through this year, until we get to the part where these people are down. I mean, I think that some of them are down where they're not saying, oh, this was hilarious, because now they're saying, Michelle and Barack, they're not hanging out anymore, and Michelle is leaving him, and poor Michelle, like, she's such a good woman, like, she's being screwed over because he's sleeping with Jennifer Aniston now. So the absurdity of all this stuff. I knew that she was going to be pulled back in, but then also was like, didn't she just have the plastic surgery boyfriend who just redid her whole face to turn her 30 years younger or something? Like, what's going on over here? And now she likes the gay guy and the best woman in the world who's really got a dick. Like, what? It's so absurd. And so she didn't go to the Carter funeral, and then she didn't go to that ceremony yesterday, and that just shows, like, but the word is on the street that they're getting the big D, the divorce is happening, and it's his wandering eye. He's got a thing for Jennifer Aniston, and so it's so absurd. And so anyways, I'm just having this really dirty thing going through my mind, because there was all these pictures of when Jennifer Aniston was with Justin Trudeau, or Justin Thoreau, I think his name, Thoreau or something like that. He is one of those ones that was the same thing with, what is that guy's name? Something Ham. Can't think of his first name. He was off of Mad Men, and you can go look it up if you've never seen these things. But it goes around like in Girl Circuit. So go look up John Hamm. Go look up John Hamm just walking on the street. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like, he's got a crutch. And so it was the same with Justin. He also, there's a lot of footage of him out walking with his special friend that dangles right there. It's humongous. And so I was just thinking, if Barack was going to be interested in being in that little situation, it would have been that, not her. Like, it's just so absurd. And they just play they play along with this idiocracy. Like, some of these people, it's like, do you not know he's gay? Do you not know that that's a man? Like, what's wrong with you? I swear to God, I from all the different angles I'd ever seen her, I had no idea her size until I saw her on that show on Ellen, and they went shopping to Walgreens. When they were shopping at Walgreens, I was like, what the fuck? This is the most giant person. This is the most giant woman I've ever seen. I've never seen a woman so giant. And I mean, she totally made Ellen look like this mini person. I think she even put her in the cart at some point or something. It was like, it was weird. And but that's when I was like, oh my God, that is a giant. And then after that, and I was still thinking it was a woman, but after that, that's when I started seeing what was swinging in between. And it was there was another thing too, I saw photos of her from behind when they were going into the last time that Trump's ceremony went down, and it was them, that was the handoff, and so they were walking, and then Donald and Melania were walking behind, and so there's these photos of them from behind. Jeez, when I saw those shoulders, I was like, fucking hell, what is this, a linebacker woman? Like, I always thought she was like tall and elegant or something. And then you see her, it's like, this isn't like a tall, elegant woman. This is like a fucking linebacker, dude. I was like, dang, man. But then it started being like, oh no, that's a fella. It was like, oh, makes sense, makes sense. But it was like, I swear to God, for years, they just did the way that she was filmed or something. Maybe I didn't pay that much attention. I was just shocked when I saw how huge she was. I was like, whoa. So anyways, so we got all these EOs that are going to be going, and so on the money thing, where on some of these things when it's going slow and it's just like, oh my God, I thought we were going to be fucking out of our debt by now, which I don't know how this is going to play out. So if they did it on the 17th and ruled it, then is it going to start going against the banks? And then we are going to witness like, oh, the banks are getting in trouble for these things. Oh, well, I'm not going to pay. Well, I'm not paying. Well, I stopped paying a long time ago. So is it going to play out like that? I don't know. I just know it's going to play out. We're going to have these shifts. We're going to go off of this money that they created for us. We're going to go on to the gold standard, which is going to be open us up to the abundance. It's the Jubilee. We're in the Jubilee. This is, it's gonna happen. It's not something we're gonna have to be like, well, maybe, like all these people, like my mom or my daughters or whatever, when I tell them, it's like, you've said this so long. Well, hopefully. It's like, no, this is happening. You just gotta be watching through a certain way, but people just don't pay any attention. You can see it. It's happening. So whatever, once that goes, because he was saying we're going to put all this money into our big military thing, which I would think the military thing, it would be more of a show, more of a like, I don't know, ROTC or something, because that's a main thing on the the thing to be included in the gold is peace. It's going to be peace on earth, and nobody can, we all just equally get our stuff, and so it's not going to be fighting for what somebody else has. It's going to be peace on earth. And so we're going into that, and that being peace on earth is also peace inside of us. So that is this independence. We're moving out of this dependency of them having control over us. But there's a lot of things what people don't see, like these people who are in, homeless, who are in the cities and stuff, begging for resources. They don't understand. They're just lost in programming. And so there's got to be all these things that keep happening, doors slamming in their face and stuff. And it's not to hurt them, but it's to get them to turn in a different direction, to find their own inner, just like my mom when she was losing all this stuff, and she's out here in the middle of nowhere in a damn barn that doesn't have insulation, no money, no job, like feeling horrible. Her husband left her for a younger person and stuff. So all those things were hitting in, and she just, she just went towards what she wanted. She didn't get deterred. And that is where, people, I think it's I learned it, I mean, I said a long time ago, that's one thing about, when you have a hard mom, that it is, it teaches you to be tough. And, and she sticks with her stuff. So it is, all these different people who, when the tough gets tough and things start falling apart, they fall apart. And this is where the universe is trying to teach you, you got to push through, you got to drive straight, you're the driver, and you can't lose it. Well, you can lose it temporarily. You can feel sorry for yourself. You can cry. You can do whatever you need to do, but you can't stay there. It's just a stop. It's a quick stop. You can't stay in pain and suffering. You can't stay in guilt and shame. You got to move through these things and get out of the muck and move into it's like a open air where you can breathe, and you have to use forgiveness and stuff as a tool. And so anyways, as the things go on, so we're gonna, RFK, he's coming in to collapse the medical thing. So it's going to be thing after thing, probably like, well, they're going down for this. This is going on. Well, court for this. So it's going to probably be a lot of drama. And Elon, he's coming in with the technology and stuff. So there will be a lot of stuff. What was it? He said something. Oh, we're going to Mars, and Elon's going to get us there. And that was a part of his speech thing yesterday too. And Elon got all excited. And so, see, he's going to be leading us in technology, because the technology is far surpassed what we have an understanding of. But it's so much for people that it's like this slow roll. That's what it seems like. Everything's like this slow roll, because it's like people short out. And you still have a huge amount of people who are scared of Donald. They think, he's coming to take them over and stuff. And he's going to push on certain things, because it's us, our morals, that we're supposed to be looking at. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about that? And that's why I think the immigration thing is going to become a huge thing, because people have to get to that point of like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. We have the right to go where we want. How can you be doing this? So I think that, there's going to be some drama that's going to go on around it for sure. But I think also there's going to be some battles with some of these people, because they're here to take us down. And once they start getting taken, they're going back to the places they came out of to come here and get us. So there's going to be some battles for sure. And we're surrounded by criminals, like they're all over the place. And Joe trying to like preemptively, he's going to pardon his family just in case you figure anything out. We're going to just go ahead and pardon them. I think with all of his stuff, because I was telling my mom yesterday, I said, yeah, but he was in what's it called? He wasn't a real, he had no real right to make any kind of ruling or anything, because he was illegitimate. And so, and that to me goes back to not just the cheat, but the swearing and the ceremony. Because in the ceremony, and then they didn't do signatures and stuff, because they weren't on they didn't do the ceremony. They were, Kamala had a Bible, a book in her purse. And so she never touched it. She never signed. He had a stack of something too. He didn't touch it. So he didn't swear on the Bible. Like, it's so funny. Swear on the Bible, you're going to do a good job, and that's okay. Swear on the Bible, you're telling the truth. Like, it's so absurd when you go to court. Swear on the Bible. Like, you're telling the truth. It's just like, this world is so absurd, dude. Fuck. So, anyways, so all of the stuff, his EOs, all his stuff I think is going to come out. It was illegitimate. Like, because this has been dangling for like a year and a half at least. And so, yeah, I think that's going to come to the forefront of like, well, he never even signed. He's illegitimate and like all this stuff, So all the things that he tried to sign in, especially pardons and shit like that. So all those people, he doesn't do one thing except for show that, oh, so what are you trying to pardon your family for? And which now they're showing that Donald tried to before on his, but they were going after his for something. I don't remember. They've gone after him so many times. So they were going after his for something, and so he was trying to do that, and they said, oh, you can't do that. And so now that issue too. So anyways, all the things are these issues, these battles, so that we go in and we look at things and we're seeing things and we're understanding things, because that creates less tension in this awakening. Like I said, it's when we want something, it's a lot easier. When we're resistant, we're fighting against it, it makes it difficult. And so the more that they can get us to just go with the flow, relax, to want it, to want to be free, to want to be on the gold standard, to want to be independent. But they're going to have to show a lot of stuff in order to get people to see. And so that's what we're going to be going through, I think. So I don't know how long, you know, this is going to take to get us to the good part still. Like, I don't know. And there still will be some things, because I bet you within a month or something, he's already talking about his freedom cities and talking about, you know, the lures to get people there, like what they'll have to offer, all of the things and stuff, which to me, I still say the lure is an evacuation lure. They're trying to pull people into places that will be more safe. But they can't just override the universe. Some people are here to go out. Some people are here to leave the game, and they are dependent on that storm to take them out so they can go home. And so they can't interfere like that and create fear over something, because we have a natural route, a natural flight plan. So they can ring a bell that catches your attention, like, you know, like, oh, I'm supposed to go in this direction, and pull people in different directions. When people are planted in certain places that are going to be gone, it's because they're going somewhere else. They're going home. They're leaving the game. And so it's not like they're doing anything wrong. I think people get so caught up in thinking that people are not doing the right thing. They need to do this. They need to be away. No, everybody is going to be, there's going to be so many shifts going. There's going to be so much stuff happening, I think, over the next, for sure, next few months. But I bet you all this year. But this next few months, I bet it's just going to be like, a lot of stuff going, which to a lot of people, it's going to be like, oh, good, finally. Oh, good, finally. But other people are going to be like, what the hell is going on now? What's he doing now? Why are they doing this? Because I've even heard some of these people like, oh, we're going to be alt-right and stuff like now. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get how you cannot witness, how you cannot look at this and see love and unity and the spread, the revival of morals and excitement. It's just like this whole excitement going in one direction, while this other is based in fear and control, and it's dark. And it's just so weird of how many of these people, these spiritual people, are all on the blue and in fear of the red. And it's just like, but see, it's all about their biases, and this is to bring up everybody's biases. This is so people can see for themselves and understand, because you can't see into where's this coming from. And you don't know all their past lives. You don't know what gets them to think the way they think. And so these things that are going to be playing out are to impact our healing, to impact our soul, to impact our growth, our evolution as beings, because we're evolving into this new subspecies like of humans, where we are more compassionate, more caring, more independent, more creative. We're more resilient. We're more, what is that? It is, you know, more of the making things and being able to sell things that we create and make. And so it's like we become our own livelihood. We become our own commodity. And so those characteristics, those are the characteristics that we're growing into. And so all of these instances and instances in all these instances are what is provoking or promoting these changes in us, these events that are propelling us into change, the catalyst events that make us go in these certain directions. With the people who go into the pity party and stuff, that is for them to witness in themselves, which I still think that there's going to be good things that are going to start happening for people, and that is what's going to help people find their direction. And so I feel like that there's going to be some good things that are going to start happening quick, like good things will start happening, and then it's just going to be a lot of shuffling. Yeah, a lot of people's attitudes shuffling, a lot of people like having big changes, like to go from hating somebody to go into like well, maybe he's not so bad, to go into, you know, liking him. It's going to go through a lot of stuff. And you got to remember, when people are doing weird shit and saying weird shit, they're programmed. They're very programmed. They're feeding off of propaganda and programming, but they can't see it for themselves yet. Something along these situations will help them to see it, but they have to see it for themselves. They can't see it because you told them. That's going to make them more resistant. It's more of like, we're just got to sit back and watch it as it comes into them. But that is where they all of a sudden feel naked in front of the world, like, because they'll all of a sudden realize, oh, we were watching the whole time. But you know, you just can't tell people. And when people start asking you, like, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you? You just say, I tried. You can't get people to see things that they can't see. They can only see it when they're ready to see it. They can only see it when it's time for them to see it. So we can't force people into being, into seeing, into any of that. And so that is a part of some of our challenges, is being able to learn to go with the flow, let people develop in their own state of timing. Let things happen naturally. Let things happen the way they're supposed to happen, and stop trying to force things and force people. Because then it starts coming down to your control issues, your fears and stuff. And so we all have things to work on. It's not just like, well, they've got a lot to work on. And it's like, well, when we're feeling emotionally charged by what they're going through, that shows we've got something to work on. And so, anyways, you know, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot. Like, I thought they were going to collapse the economy, like, before he came in. I thought that would go. So now, like, they still are having it. And all his EOs that he had signed before, too, those were all the ones where these rich people are going to lose their stuff. If they were involved in any of these kinds of these situations that, you know, the things that we're talking about have to do with parts and kids. So any of that stuff that people were involved with, they lose everything. And but a lot of them, they're going to, you know, go to jail. That will be the easy way. Some of them, they're going out back. They're meeting the squad out back. So, and it's going to be, and that they're making it bigger right now. So obviously it's going to be a big show. Because I think some people have already gone down, and they probably have been having things all the time. But it's going to start being with doctors, lawyers, media. It won't just be celebrities. Like, everybody just thinks, oh, it's just going to be celebrities and politicians. No, it's going to be all sorts of people. All sorts of people are involved in all sorts of crimes. And if your crimes are connected to other things, which that is a part of what the bad people do, is get you hooked into stuff, which is so crazy too, is like these puppets, like Newsom, Wheeler, Inslee, Pelosi, all these people. They're not going to the fucking dinners at the Rothschild. They're not going to those places. These people are puppets. These people are a joke to these people. They are just as disgusting as anybody could possibly be. Those are the ones that they watch dance around and suck each other off for a fucking dollar. They are the ones that are disgusting. They call us sheep, but they are the ones that are witnessed as being the most degrading of people. And so they are just puppets, and the puppet masters laugh at them. So they that is where the tables turn. Like, these people are disgusting people, and they are immoral, and they have no ethics. They're greedy, they're superficial, just a lot of stuff like that. So and all that is going to be exposed. And so anyways, we have all that going, and it's, you know, it's just getting started. And so who knows what all is going to happen during this week, and how long it's going to take before we start seeing significant changes in the money situation, like the bankers go down and stuff. The medical, I feel like for a while it's going to be up to the people. Like, you're going to have to be listening, you know, as things are revealed, as they reveal like how much you're worth to these people who are keeping you sick, when there's stuff that's like $10 that can heal you. And that doctor talks about that kind of stuff too, the one in the video that I was talking about. So yesterday when I went up there, I was almost to Safeway, and they were almost completely done downloading. So, and I just went in and got a couple things and came out, and they were done. And so I was thinking I could probably do that a couple times a week. And so I think today and then tomorrow I'll record, and then I'll go take that, and then I'll do another couple days, and then I'll go take those. I'm not going to run up there every day. That would be really frivolous. But probably every other day would be okay until I get this Starlink thing. Once I get the Starlink thing, then it will, I won't have this issue. But I think that's what I'll do probably tomorrow, is go up, take these, and see, you know, if that kind of works good. If I can just run up there, because when you're used to driving 30 miles into town, then that 15 miles, it seems like, fuck, that's nothing. And it's so quick to be at a store. It's like, fuck, I'm used to having to go all through town and everything else. So now it's like, dang. So I may be able to, but like I said, doing it every day, that would be kind of silly, because it would be the gas and everything. So every other day. But I do miss talking to everybody, because then when people go on and watch and then they say something, then it gives me something to do, to go talk to everybody. It's like I miss everybody. But anyways, that's what, you know, I'll have to do for now, is do try that, you know, I'll try it every 2 days and see if that ends up being too tedious or whatever. But yesterday it went real quick. So, and I don't know if it was something in the air or whatever. It's so weird too, because if you go in a store, I think it slows it down, like the big metal things. But the energy, or the something out between the stores, it seems like that makes it faster. So anyways, let's look at my tooth. And I think it's looking real good. And we'll just wrap things up with a reminder of what we're doing here, is learning how to love ourselves, to love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it is totally up to us. So anyways, I will talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.